here now with Parinaz Bahadori, who's a painter. Parinaz, what's your style of painting?
Well, I am still finding my voice. I've been a painter for about 7 years, like a serious painter. Prior to that, it was more just a kind of a little side gig. And I've got probably 3 different things that I do. One is still lifes in a kind of a more modern, loose style, and then abstracts and collages, which would, not be representational. And then I'm also very interested in calligraphy, particularly Persian calligraphy, although also Western calligraphy, and I try to incorporate that sometimes in my abstracts or in my collages. Not yet in my landscapes, but hopefully one day they will all come together.
What's your favorite medium to use? Oil, acrylic, watercolor, ink?
I use a little bit of everything, probably no more oils. I used to paint in oils when I was a college student, but the cleanup was not really something I was very good at, so I've stuck now with acrylics, watercolors, and pastes and collages and things like that.
What's a place on your bucket list you'd like to visit for inspiration as an artist?
Well, I've been lucky to visit many parts of the world. I'm originally from Iran, and I would love to go back for another visit because it seems like I kind of go back there and absorb the colors and the architecture, and the kind of the life there has always kind of nourished my soul. But there's so many other places that I would like to continue to visit. One would be Japan. I've never been to the far, far east. I've been to China, but not to Japan, and I find the art there just so different from anything I'm used to. I think it would be wonderful to experience kind of the quietness of gardens and the architecture.
What is your go-to color of choice?
Ooh, that's a hard one because I really just love all colors. I think that blue and blue-greens, turquoise colors are very much my favorites, but I'm trying to now tone down my palette a little bit, and because all colors really do excite me, and trying to focus a little bit in my paintings on looking at one color and its ranges, as a counterpoint to maybe another color.
What would you say you're most well known for as a painter?
Probably where I really found my true sort of being expressed originally was in a lot of calligraphy and Persian poetry that inspired me. The words, when they inspired me, I sort of felt like I was moving forward with ease. And now I would say multimedia is something that I'm more comfortable with. I've taken some classes with Jennifer Duncan right here at the Great Falls Art School, and she's really helped me a lot kind of get to that next level with multimedia.
What's the first piece of art you see when you wake up in the morning?
There are 2 things in my bedroom. One is a small Persian carpet which is covered in paisley. It's very beautiful, and I think the imperfection of it, because it's a small rug, really inspires me. And there's also a wall hanging. It's a embroidered jacket that I had framed that belonged to my grandmother. It's got like beautiful filigree, gold filigree. So textiles and carpets and other things other than paintings have always inspired me.
Is there an artist that inspired you right back at the beginning? Did you, when you were first taking out your paints?
Probably one of my favorite artists is Dibben Korn, and I've always just admired the way he straddled representational and abstract in his career, and it's just, I just really think that every time I look at his paintings, I'm just in awe.
Is this piece here, is this a new piece or a...
It's my latest piece. It's sort of fresh off the press, but I will say underneath it is an older piece, so I felt like I was very loose. I just kind of tackled it and said, who cares? I'm just going to paint on top of it. So that was kind of fun.
Have you given it a name?
Yes, so near and yet so far.
Do you name it as you're painting it or later?
Yes, as I'm painting, definitely. It makes a big difference having like a title.
Well, I think you've achieved your 5 minutes of fame. Thank you very much for
Thank
coming.
you, Dorry.